Stewart here. So I'm kind of tired. I'm in Pittsburgh, and tomorrow I'm presenting a 3 to 4 hour workshop on safety and the spectrum. And I'm really excited because in UCLA I did an hour and a half, 2 hours. So to be able to extend it and to do some practical work, I think will be really beneficial. So it's going to be more speaking to. It's still going to be kind of a lecture, but it's going to be speaking to support workers, and so mostly staff. So I'm really going to be able to help them to understand the important issues. So particularly things like associative thinking, which I think is quite often key in understanding safety issues for many individuals. Now, it's important to remember that not everybody with autism thinks associatively. There are people with autism who think in context, but there are, I'd have said, a very large number of people who think in association. And so I think that some of the anxiety problems people with autism face come from that associative thinking, because associative thinking makes it easier to, as some people might say, catastrophize things. So, for example, being so anxious that your home is going to be broken into and that your prized possession is going to be taken away from you, that you would carry that prized possession around with you. But if that prized possession is very large, and also, it's potentially not very safe to do that, then it could stop you from being as independent as perhaps you might otherwise be. Now, there's lots of reasons why somebody may be thinking in that way. So, for example, it might be anxiety related, but also perhaps the reason why the person is thinking about the house being burgled, which, if they live in a really safe area, that might seem a little bit extreme. But if they associate home with perhaps a TV series where someone has been broken into, or some other association that they have, then that only strengthens their fear. You've got to think of associations, I think, like tag clouds, and that the bigger the word in the cloud, then so the more often you think about a word, then the bigger that word is in the cloud, and the more associations are going to be built into that word. And so that can be that can be just one element into safety. Also, it's important to look at other things like language. Now, lots of people kind of say, okay, well, we understand about, not using non-literal phrases. That's great that you understand, but when you're thinking about a young person or an adult who socialises with other young people or adults, then slang words are likely to come up, and if you don't know what those slang words mean, then that can firstly put you at risk of potentially doing something dangerous like taking drugs. Also, it can cause you social embarrassment, and also it could cause bullying, because if you show that you don't understand something, then other people may see that as an opportunity to bully you and take advantage. And then that means that you are kind of earmarked for future bullying, potentially. People see you as a target, and that's happened in my life, and I know that that's happened to other people. So I think that the safety issues are very complex, and I think it's really important that we talk about them and that we try and find out as much information as we can. And this is just a short video, and it doesn't touch all the bases, if you like, or all the places where you need to concentrate on when you're thinking about safety, but hopefully it's given you some pointers.